Amber Heard has garnered a lot of media buzz since the infamous Depp v. Heard scandal that happened over a year ago. It seems that she can't drop the unwanted attention even though the case has been settled for a very long time. People can't help but keep her name in the public eye, wondering what she'll do next. Today we're going to cover the top 10 embarrassing Amber Heard moments. Coming in at number 10 is Raven-Symone's weird TikTok. Last year, a repost of an old TikTok by Raven-Symone of That's So Raven fame went viral. In the video, Raven-Symone claimed to be parked next to Amber Heard at a Tesla charging station, and she was not thrilled about being in the fellow actor's vicinity. Symone and her wife complained about being near her and proceed to laugh about how Heard had allegedly locked her keys in her car and begin to brainstorm ways to get her attention, including Raven's idea of yelling something along the lines of, "I cut my finger too, want to claim it?" Raven also noted that Amber appeared to be in distress, gasping and saying, "Oh my god, she's crying." Miranda, her wife, chimed in by joking that she's probably on the phone with her lawyer. Raven also mocked Amber's then girlfriend, saying, "There's Amber and her lesbian lover. Oh my god, she looks like Johnny Depp." All of this hate came about despite the couple taking a photo with Amber. And as Amber's emotions became heightened, Raven decided to lighten the mood by showing Amber the picture they took together and said, "Amber, I'm so sorry you got locked out of your car, but my picture is amazing." Many people came out and said that Raven's behavior was uncalled for, saying that she was petty and mean for posting it. At number 9 is when she brought her dogs to Australia. For all who aren't aware, in order to bring animals to Australia from the USA, they must first be kept in a 10-day quarantine before being free to roam as per Australia's Quarantine Act. During a trip to the country in 2015, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp were caught illegally smuggling their Yorkshire Terriers into Australia, thus defying the Quarantine Act. Allegedly, the now ex-couple said no on their immigration form when asked if they needed to declare any animals, and this subsequently resulted in them getting in trouble with the Australian government for breaching biosecurity laws. I don't know how they thought they'd be able to keep 2 terriers quiet while going through an airport, but I respect them for trying. After they pled guilty to falsifying travel documents in court, the case was closed, with Heard and Depp filming an apology video in which the Pirates of the Caribbean actor urged viewers to declare everything. Depp then told the Jimmy Kimmel Live show about the incident in September 2015, saying, quote, "We were under the impression that we had all the paperwork done for the dogs. We were with the dogs in front of everybody." Depp and Heard's video apology came a year later, in which she added that she was truly sorry for not following the dog declaration rules. At number 8 is when Amber was slapped by Johnny in public. On the 15th day of their divorce trial, Amber Heard took the stand and opened up about a quote, "embarrassing incident that occurred when she and Depp were on a flight in 2014. She mentioned Depp was upset that she was filming with James Franco, who he reportedly hated. After filming an intimate scene with her co-star Franco, Depp began to pester her, asking her for explicit details about it. Not a great conversation to have while sequestered in a plane together. The duo unsurprisingly got into a fight about the issue, which led to Depp throwing ice cubes and utensils at her. Amber said that she took the initiative of changing seats and getting away from him, minding her own business and looking out the window, but Depp did not care for that one bit. As she was sitting away from him, he slapped her across the face, which he claims was due to her not answering his questions. This all happened while his friends were sitting amongst them, and although the slap did not hurt her, as she said, she was embarrassed that it took place in front of people, as it was the first time it had ever happened in public. At number 7, we've got being proposed to without a ring. The biggest divorce scandal of the decade began with a less than desirable proposal. If you couldn't even get a stand-in ring for the big moment, then it's probably not a great sign of what he'll be like for the rest of the marriage. Amber recalls the moment that Johnny asked her to be his wife with affection, calling his proposal traditional and sweet. She said, quote, "He got down on one knee and said, 'I want you to be my girl forever, my woman, my girl, I want you to be the rest of my life, say yes to me.'" Heard said that her reaction to his popping the question was full of blind hope and said, quote, "I thought if we were married then this was real and it wasn't going to be chaotic anymore and it'll change. I just had so much hope in that moment." Although Johnny seemingly had everything needed for a storybook engagement, he was missing one thing, probably the most important thing, that being a ring. Amber asked if he was serious, wanting him to actually think about his decision, knowing that John had a very impulsive personality. Impulsivity is always a great way to start a long-term commitment, or is it? She also said that she didn't immediately tell anyone because she didn't know if Depp really meant it. At number 6 is the countless times Amber cleaned up after Johnny. Amber claimed that Johnny was the love of her life and perfect in every way except for one. She says he was, quote, "awful." Amber goes on to explain that Depp would often pass out in his own vomit, lose control of his body, and have other people, including her, clean up after him. During the trial, she said, quote, "I mean, this man lost control of his bowels and I cleaned up after him. His security cleaned up after him, changed his pants in front of me, and he would pass out in his own sick." At our halfway point, we have the "my dog stepped on a bee" incident. Amber recounted a 2013 trip she and Johnny took amongst friends, which all led to the fact that her dog had stepped on a bee and they had to take it to the vet. This seemingly came out of nowhere, and a lot of people were confused about the relevance of her statement, seeing that it had very little to do with the important events she had been describing initially. After saying the line, she paused as if to wince in pain, and that moment for whatever reason went incredibly viral, with TikTok trends cropping up of people imitating the expression and stitching videos together with their own random winces. This moment garnered hundreds of videos, which all gathered hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of views. issues. Even celebrities like Doja Cat got in on the trend with a TikTok explaining how her puppy got stung by a bee while squinting her eyes and jerking her head around. You know how she does. But after Doja posted the video, she received a ton of backlash as fans were not happy that the singer was using her platform to seemingly needlessly hate on Amber. At number 4 is the Fecal matter testimony. During the trial, Johnny testified that there was a moment when he went to collect his belongings from their Los Angeles penthouse after a particularly bad fight. When he got there, he received a message from his security guard saying it just wasn't a good time, but Johnny said he inquired further, to which he was made aware that there was, quote, human fecal matter on his side of his and hers bed, and was sent a picture of the feces as proof. He added that it was so bizarre and so grotesque that he could only muster up laughter as a reaction. When Amber was confronted, Johnny says that she claimed it was from the dog, citing the bowel control issues one of their shared teacup Yorkies has. As a puppy, the Yorkie in question had gotten into Depp's stash of substances, which led to its current digestive issues. When asked if this was a prank, Heard responded, quote, absolutely not. First of all, I don't think that's funny. I was not in the pranking mood. My life was falling apart. I had just been attacked on my 30th birthday. It was not really a jovial time, and I don't think that's funny. That's disgusting. At number 3 is her alleged wardrobe malfunction. In 2018, the actress was caught by paparazzi at an airport wearing black slacks and a form-fitting white tank top and was apparently braless. This was immediately coined as a wardrobe malfunction by many media outlets. In response to such claims, Amber told Entertainment Tonight, I don't care what people have to say about my fashion choices. I dress for my own self. However, to say I had a malfunction because you could see my body, I'm not ashamed of it. I don't care how it looks to you or the effect it has on you. How dare you tell me it was a malfunction? My nipples are a part of me and they're not a malfunction. Heard also tweeted that it was, quote, a choice and hashtag not a malfunction. Our runner-up on the list is an incident someone had with her aggressive bodyguard. The YouTube influencer Jaclyn Hill told People magazine and TikTok all about what she calls a humiliating run-in she once had with Amber Heard and her bodyguard last year. Hill said she bumped into the actor at Nobu, a Japanese restaurant in Malibu, when Heard's bodyguard allegedly escorted her out of the restaurant. In the TikTok video posted to her account, Hill said that the encounter happened a couple of years ago and starts by saying, quote, time to tell you guys the horrifying and humiliating story of the day that I met Amber Heard. Hill went on to recount that after she and her friends were seated, she noticed a familiar woman sitting on the table next to her, later recognizing her as Heard from her 2006 movie Alpha Dog. Hill said, quote, we were making eye contact every 3 to 5 minutes and it was so awkward and I was like, why does she keep looking at me? Why do I keep looking at her? Once the group paid the bill, as they were walking out of the restaurant, Hill said she couldn't refrain from addressing her, and she went on to claim that they shared a brief, cordial conversation in which she said Heard was so nice to her. Unfortunately, during the conversation, Hill alleged that Amber's security guard physically grabbed her forearm and said that she needed to come with him, proceeding to escort her away from Amber, letting her know that she's not allowed to be speaking with the actress. Hill called the situation, quote, one of the most embarrassing moments of my entire life, but went on to reassure that it wasn't Amber that humiliated her or was even mean to her. Amber and her representatives have never made comment on the incident. Our number 1 spot goes to when Heard alleged that Depp did a cavity search on her. During the trial, Heard alleged that Depp thought she was hiding an illegal substance from him. She recounted while looking visibly uncomfortable and disgusted that he ripped her clothes off of her and conducted a cavity search of her body. She said, quote, I was wondering how I, somebody who didn't do that substance and was against it because it was in and of itself causing problems in our relationship, why would I hide his substances from him? She continued by saying, like he was insinuating that I was doing it or something. It made no sense. And he was telling me we're going to conduct a cavity search, like he just shoved his fingers inside of me. I just stood there while he did it. An allegation to which Johnny denied and offered absolutely no follow-up to. This is our top 10 list of embarrassing Amber Heard moments. Let us know if we forgot any, and I will see you guys in the next one.